Let's go on a magical journey of making a witchy clock. I'm Alicia, this is crafty.coven. This was not originally intended to be a clock. This was going to be a piece of wall art. And today I am doing my first dirty pour. Yes, you heard, my first dirty pour. I have never done one before. I've always puddle poured if I've ever done this sort of thing. So I thought it's about time I did one. And I have gone with a purple, a blue, an interference, and black. The original idea for this was to have a piece of wall art. It was going to be a phoenix, and I was going to put some wording on it along the lines of "We rise from the ashes." I myself find phoenixes very relatable. I've risen from the ashes on multiple occasions through my life, childhood, adult, through lots of different traumatic experiences, for a better phrase. But here I am putting them into my main cup, ready for dirty pour. And here I go. Hindsight is a fabulous thing, and I wish I had the premonition type ability because I would not have done it in this wiggly line. Yeah, that's all I've got. I would not have done it if I will do another dirty pour, and when I do, I will not be doing it like this. Let it come out nice, but not how my mind wanted it to come out. Now let's demold, and like I said, hindsight, fabulous thing. Like, it's pretty, but it's not what I had envisioned. Now, the original thought was this phoenix was going to go on there. I thought, doesn't quite look right. I'm going to flip it over, see if it looks any better that way. Don't like it. So we're going to turn it back over. And as I start to peel this, what I thought was a UV DTF, was not. It was a sticker. Now, I can't work out for the life of me where on earth you'd put this sticker. It has got an awful white outline the whole way round the phoenix. So I went over to my UVDTF folder. Yes, I have an entire folder just for my UVDTFs. And I found this stunning witch. And I had planned on making a tray with her. But when I saw her, I was like, yep, you fit and you are perfect for this vibe that I have got going on. So, although, no, not the original plan, a wonderful accident because this turned out so much better than the original Phoenix image that I had in my head. I will at some point get round to doing a Phoenix wall hanging because I want one. I want one in my house. Like I said, I resonate massively with Phoenixes and what they represent. And I do just think they're beautiful. I should hope I think they're beautiful because I have a tattoo of one. So, Now, all I'm doing is just trimming the excess bits of UV-DTF off. Now, what I'm doing is drawing round it because for the life of me, I could not find my 12, 3, 6, and 9. Like, naturally, just trying to do it by eye. It just looked off. So I thought if I trace round it and fold it into 4, I'll find my 12, 3, 6, and 9. Was the forethought. Actually ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Oh, I never do anything the easy way, but I don't know why. But as soon as I put this UVDTF down, I just instantly thought that needs to be a clock. Why? Couldn't tell you. Right now, I'm just going to say I'm one of those weirdos. I like clocks that don't have numbers on. So my clock isn't going to have numbers on. It's going to have stickers in place where the 12, 3, and 9 will go. The witch's face herself is the 6 point. Some people don't like clocks like this, and that's fine, but I really do. Annoyingly, it doesn't really match my colour scheme within my own home, so I won't be keeping this one. May have to make myself another one. So I've gone with a ram skull for the 12, and then the 3 and the 9 are going to be little suns. I think they're suns. I'm sure they're suns. But they're really pretty. They're holographic, the 3 and the 9. The ram skull, I love it. Like, I really do. I don't know why. I love ram skulls. Now we're off on a bit of a tangent. It does all come together. Just bear with. So I'm just popping down some open back bezels onto some UV resin tape. I've got my chopping board there because of the way the hooks are. It doesn't lay flat just against the normal table. So I've taken the chopping board as a lip so that it does sit flat. The UV resin I'm using is craft resin, and it is a really nice UV resin. I'm then going to take some Starry Sky pigment and I'm going to swirl that in. I could have put it in a little pot and put it in, but honestly, that's just more stuff to clean, and yeah, I'm lazy. So I'm swirling it in and then I'm just going to cure it up. Now I've taken some mylar flakes and I'm mixing that in with some UV resin so that I can plonk that on the top of these open back bezels. I want a shimmery moon type effect without being too in your face. I wanted something understated. I'm just going to do that to all 3 of them, and I'm going to struggle with the tape getting stuck to my gloves. Any issues with the lighting, I do apologise. I have got my UV lamp off to the side. I tried to block it off as much as I could, but my workspace is not that big. I had some UV mylar flake mixture left, so I plonked it in this pendant mould that I've got. I don't do jewellery very often. I enjoy doing jewellery. I don't like fitting the findings. It infuriates me and it hurts my hands. I am just top coating my moons, and then I am going into the pendants because I want these little circle ones. And I want them purple, and I've done them in the same purple that is in the clock. I don't actually end up using these at all. Well, I do, but not for the clock. I end up making jewellery out of them. So then I'm just doming these because I really want to magnify those mylar flakes, and I want that shimmer to be quite intense. This UV resin domes really nicely, and I've always struggled with UV. I think a lot of that is to do with the brands I was using. I have used quite a few different brands. I've still got an overly large bottle of a brand I really don't like, and I'm trying to use it up in anything I can. But because this is quite prominent, I didn't want to use the other brand I've got. I wanted a beautiful finish on it, and Craft UV resin has a beautiful finish. On the back of the mylar flakes independents, I'm just putting some black J Diction UV, and I love that UV because I do like black, obviously, and it's really hard mixing black UV resin, or well, for me it is anyway, because I just go over the top. I can't help it. I want it black, and little layers is hard work for me. Then I'm just doming the other side of these open back bezels. I want them to be completely finished on both sides. And that's all it is. This is the other reason I don't like doing jewellery. It's so fiddly. But how beautiful have they come out? I can't get my camera to focus properly. It's just the reflection off of those mylar flakes. You can see me trying to focus the camera. It won't work. Thought maybe if I turn it over, it'll focus. I'm not quite sure what was going through my brain. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the camera doesn't pick it up. Oh, it did a little bit there. And then you get a little bonus demold that's nothing to do with the project itself, but it is. It's the excess resin. So I guess it is kind of to do with the project. And I don't waste anything. I've also I like to cure at the end in water. I just prefer how it feels. It makes me feel better. I've got this thing about UV resin not being cured properly. So I do put every single pendant, including the open back bezels, into a pot of water, and then I will just cure them for 3 minutes, and then I'm happy. And then once they're fully cured, this is what they look like. Obviously, they need a bit of tidying up, but the shimmer on them, and I love how different Mylar flakes look depending on what colour is behind them. Now on to my least favourite thing in the entire world. Like, I actually think that blooms come above my dislike for sorting out jewellery. I don't know if it's the arthritis in my hands or if I'm just, I don't think I've got the patience for it. But anyways, I digress. I've got these beautiful, I don't know what to call them. They're like a metal branch, and you wrap them round your pendant, like round your bezel, not your bezel, your cabochon. That's the word I'm after. And it looks like it's being held almost by like a tree branch, and it does come out lovely. I think that's what it is, the holding, the gripping, like action. I think that's what hurts my hands the most. But anyways, originally these were going to be attached to the clock. They don't end up on the final piece, but I do make necklaces out of them, and they are beautiful. There has got to be an easier way to get these to wrap around these cabochons. There must be. I make it look really hard. I don't think it's supposed to be this hard work. This video today is part of the Friendship Express collaboration. We do a video together once a week, and a playlist will be in my description. Have a gander, because all of the people on there are fantastic artists. Now back to the clock, and you get to see my lovely cack-handed manual drilling. So I am drilling 3 holes into the bottom of my clock because I'm going to attach my moons. This is me checking they're evenly spaced apart, even after I've measured and I've marked. And yeah, I do end up getting my rotary drill out, but I like to start the holes manually so that I don't slip. I've done that before and it doesn't end nicely and it hurts. Then I'm just going to sand around the edges. I did debate adding a chrome edge to it, but I actually really like the edge itself. Now I do go in and obviously drill for the clock mechanism to go in the center and put the clock mechanism in. I don't feel myself doing that because clock mechanisms stress me out, and I think I'd be more stressed if I knew I was like being filmed. Now we're twiddling eye hooks in so that I can attach my moon open back bezels. Now this was a faff. Yeah, quite the faff. No, not even any words for it. It was a faff and a half. And if I was ever to do a clock like this again, I would do this in a slightly different order. So I would attach the chain first and then attach the bezels, as opposed to doing it this way around, because yeah, it was too faffy like this. I should have attached it to the eyelets and then put the eyelets in. But we live and we learn. Now all that leaves for today is some glamour shots of some jewellery and my beautiful clock. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you very much. If you've enjoyed my content, please do like the video. Drop me a comment as to whether or not you think this was a good U-turn from the Phoenix or not. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Bye for now.